That was so nice of you to clap until they all got in. Orchestra Hall doesn't always stay that polite, and other places. Welcome to Spirit of Hope United Methodist Church. My name is Jerry Rubino. I'm the director of music here and the manager of the Fine Arts series that we have here throughout the year. I was meant to check with you, Christine. Is this year 3 that we've been doing this?
Yes, this is our
third full year of hosting Calliope here, and we are proud of the connection and so many shared values that our church, as well as this wonderful arts organization, are able to share. We're happy that you're here very much, and we're happy to host you. And I'm really proud to say that Christine sings in our choir. She sits up there. So if you ever have any interest, we're always adding. I hope that you will take advantage of the QR code that's available to you. That's kind of the new thing, and it was posted up there, but it's at the bottom of the programs if you actually have them. Welcome, welcome, and please welcome Iris and Christine.
My feet are rooted to the ground, oh, la 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 my voice is soaring in the sky, la la I am tied to the past, beautifully tangled with you, hand in hand we look to the stars.
Forgot about getting our pitch, so just be a second.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in time
so much for taking the time to join us today. Happy Pride. My name is Chloe Root, and I am the Artistic Director of Calliope. We are so happy to see you here. As residents of Minnesota, we would like to acknowledge that we are on the ancestral and current homelands of the Dakota people who have resided here for many centuries. The Dakota were subject to atrocities of the US government, which attempted to eradicate indigenous peoples as their lands were stolen. This is where we live today, and we encourage our audience to contemplate with us ways to stand in solidarity with indigenous peoples, such as by staying informed about the lasting effects of this history, by supporting Native-led organizations, and by seeking further resources. To learn more, we encourage you to please refer to a list of local Native organizations, which is linked in our full program. Speaking of which, the full program, accessible via QR code, as Jerry mentioned, in the shortened programs, also contains lyrics, program notes for many of the songs we will be singing, and a link to a list of local organizations we believe in and encourage our audience to support in the spirit of the theme of this concert, building and embracing community. We would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the tragedy of this day in Minnesota, in the violence against two lawmakers and their families. We stand in solidarity with John and Yvette Hoffman and mourn the loss of Melissa and Mark Hortman. Please join us for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. To say the least, we're living through a very difficult, troubling time in our country and in the world. This concert is a reflection on what I firmly believe is in equal parts the backbone and cornerstone of survival, resistance, progress, change, joy, and thriving. Through joy and grief alike, we are happy to celebrate being in community with one another by making music, as well as by sharing our stories in poetry today. We hope you enjoy our time here together, and we invite you to contemplate the ways in which our communities affect one another and ripple out into the world around us. Boise, Idaho in September of 2022, after living there for more than 20 years. I raised my kids in Boise. Boise looks good on paper, but it's quite conservative and has a strong Christian and Mormon culture. I'm not particularly religious, and I'm definitely not conservative. I thought my influence would be enough to help my kids be more open-minded and less traditional. Hubris. 5 years after moving to Boise, I got a divorce. I was not able to be the traditional partner the culture and my ex expected me to be. It was little things at first. Not being invited because I didn't have a partner. My kids missing out on something because I was a single parent. For us, it led to full-on bullying, trauma, and disinclusion because I wasn't like the other parents. So I got smaller and smaller. My free time was spent doing everything I could to protect my kids. My kids learned that the Civil War was about states' rights. They were forced into cis straight roles and not even knowing that there were other options. Fortunately, after high school, my kids got out. After a while, they both ended up in Madison, Wisconsin. They are now growing to be the people that they were meant to be. One non-binary and one mostly straight cis ally. I stayed in Boise. I got even smaller, and my world continued to shrink. Finally, my eldest said to me, "We're never coming back to Idaho. You should probably move." So I did, to St. Paul. And I started to grow again, into the person that I'm meant to be. I discovered Calliope, and dragon boat paddling, and a world where I didn't need to make myself small. Sometimes I feel guilty for what I put my kids through growing up in Boise. But they tell me it has given them strength and perspective that they wouldn't have had otherwise. They have scars and some religious trauma, but they also have the ability to understand people from a more traditional background and help them be more open to those of us that are less traditional.
I'm gay. It was 1991, and one of my best friends from college had just come out to me. Will had been in a relationship with Lisa, another extremely close college friend, for about 4 years. So it was a surprise on that front, but it wasn't a huge surprise either. I said to him, "If you're trying to lose my friendship, you're gonna have to try harder than that." Here's the significance. The friends I made on the first day became my main friend and support group throughout my 4 years of college. There were 9 of us all together. When we moved out of the dorm, we found a house together and lived there until graduation. Will had always held a special place in my heart. Both of his parents had been incarcerated as children during our country's internment of Japanese Americans during World War II. As such, he lovingly mentored me, an unformed lump of clay from an upper-class white suburb, to a more nuanced awareness of pervasive societal ills and the need for social justice to overcome them. In the years since, almost 40 at this point, our little group of 9 has remained connected. We've attended each other's weddings and other special events. When my wife passed away, they all offered heartfelt condolences. When I told them I was a transgender woman, they offered me their support. Over the years, we gather every 3 or 4 years for a weekend reunion. At our last gathering, after I made an offhand comment about J.K. Rowling and her toxic hatred for trans women, Will asked me to explain. Well, to start, it's a betrayal of the central themes of love and acceptance that permeate the Harry Potter books, I said. And then she goes on to claim I'm not a woman, and that all trans women are just men using our male privilege to intentionally harm or erase cis women. I went on to say that the logic she uses to define real women is a dangerous, slippery slope type of reasoning that can be used to exclude all types of women, both cis and trans. It's the same type of distorted logic that has been used to support the worst sort of prejudicial thinking that has existed since, well, forever. I just know there are a lot of strong feelings on both sides, he demurred. And then he broke my heart. I guess you and I just have different ideas of social justice. This clearly signaled his true opinion of me and my life as a trans woman. I was devastated. Since then, I've reached out to him a few times in order to better understand what he meant. But Will, the first person from whom I learned the value of having difficult conversations, has not responded. Not only do I feel the loss of my relationship with him, I feel torn apart from the entire group. Will has always been the emotional core, and it doesn't feel right to share my hurt with the others. I am adrift and in pain. These are the best friends I ever had. It seems that all those years ago, when I told Will that he'd have to try harder, he took it as a challenge.
sharing 2 poems today. This one is titled Che Guevara T-shirts. When you must leave behind everything you know, you are prepared for pain. Longing for your abuela's cremitas de leche, for childhood songs sang in your native tongue, for the feel of century-old brick scraping against your hand, dragged along city building walls, the comforting smell of muck, mire, fresh bread, garlic. You are not prepared for the poking and the prodding, the othering, the way someone choking on their own stale whiteness can make you feel ashamed of existing in your own brown body, of your tongue-tied English, of being smarter than they are. You are not prepared for the romanticizing of bloodshed, the way Americanos will shout improved literacy rates to absolve the murder of your friends, the starving of your people, the diaspora of your family, the emptiness in your belly when you have to nod through the retelling of someone's vacation to your home, the home you were forced to flee, your pasted on, rehearsed, well-placed smile faltering slightly at the phrase, Cubans really are such a happy people, as if people do not live, eat, and die there, as if a piece of you didn't die there. Between the push to assimilate and the pull to preserve. The first time I flew on an airplane, I left my entire world behind. I lifted one foot off the island and the other stayed firmly planted in my roots. One foot in the cabin, the other still wiggling its toes in a tide pool, evading chitons and little crabs. Half of me was still reciting state-sanctioned poetry with my classmates, giggling while we came to a consensus over whether lunch was more fish or fishbone. I did not know the half of me in the tide pool would grow smaller and smaller. When the other half was in the sky, I wondered if I could see them from my iron perch. For a moment, I was the pelican and I was the herring. I was not allowed to say goodbye, so I did not know it was goodbye. That small half of me would slowly demur into a hermit crab I would sometimes feel at the nape of my neck or up my arm. For years, I would slap away at it. Like a mosquito, I tried to squash this part that othered me, the part that guilted me for not writing to my abuela more, for arguing with my mother about practicing my Spanish, the part of me that grew facial hair where the white girls didn't, the part of me that unrelentingly refuses to assimilate.
I'm going to be reading a poem of mine called Portraits. I believe important context for this poem is that I am black, which you may notice, and that I am trans. I painted a portrait of womanhood, and I noticed she was white. She likened purity itself to the color of a dove. She teased me for my curly hair I tried so hard to love. She pointed at my chiseled jaw and made me stop and stare. She told me that I'm only me without my facial hair. I hung her portrait on my wall and see it every day. I look into her hazel eyes and feel her look away. I marvel at her gorgeousness, which blinds me from my own. I regard her with a reverence I myself have never known. I painted a portrait of beautiful, and I noticed she was cis. She said my feet a bit too big, my shoulders rather broad. She shouted that my chest so flat would make me seem a fraud. She warned me they would laugh at me unless I looked like her, so I hid within her shadow so they wouldn't call me sir. I hung her portrait on my wall and see it every day. I recognize my biases but cannot look away. I wish that I can wander off the path she paved for me and see myself as beautiful, no matter where I'd be. I painted a portrait of myself, and I noticed I was sad. It captured what I looked like, but it wasn't really me. It was merely a reminder of the differences I see. It emphasized the features which rendered me exempt from the kind of love I gave to them, leaving only for me contempt. The portraits plastered on my wall, made of reflective glass. It changes as my seasons do, and bitter moments pass. But today, I feel it call to me and say with hope anew, I hope the next 3 that you paint will all look more like you.
I'm going off script for just a moment. Chloe, you're one of the most beautiful women I know. The funny part is, I didn't know. It's like I'm supposed to have some kind of radar. We really need to develop a secret handshake. I'm often asked why I sing in Calliope, given that I live in Mankato. It's a fair question, as it results in about 4 hours of driving every Thursday. And as we all know, driving around the cities right now is no one's idea of fun. In my former disguise as a cis man, finding community was a constant struggle. I never felt comfortable being amidst a group of men, go figure. Parenthetically, as an elementary school teacher, most of my colleagues were women with whom I fit in very well. Again, go figure. Around 2005, my wife and I were raising our family in Bangor, Maine. A friend invited me to join the Black Bear Men's Chorus, a group from the University of Maine just down the road in Orono. I'd always enjoyed choral singing, so I gave it a shot. It turned out to be a great guy fit for me. It was made up of both college students and local community members. This cross-section of men had a wonderful vibe and great energy. When my family moved from Maine to Minnesota, the BBMC was one of the things I missed the most. I found a local choir in Mankato. It was okay. The repertoire had too much religious music written by dead white guys for my tastes. But it was better than nothing. At least I was singing. But in early 2016, everything changed. My wife, Rebecca, died unexpectedly, and by the time I felt like singing again, the whole Nora thing had happened. There are many trans women who continue to embrace singing the bass and baritone choral lines, but I was not one of them. I also intuitively understood that, as Nora, my attempts to sing the alto line would not be welcome in that particular choral setting, so I dropped out. Because I didn't know what I could or should do with my singing voice or where I might be welcomed in, I was both voiceless and choirless. Fast forward a few years. It's June 2018, and I'm at Twin Cities Pride, just walking around, taking in the sights, when I came across a booth for a women's chorus that promised a place for all singers. Even me, I thought to myself. I approached with trepidation. Putting myself out there has never been a strong suit, and began talking to a woman I soon learned was the director. I explained my dilemma. I want to sing, but I don't know what to do with my voice because singing my old parts feels dysphoric as hell, and this is a woman's chorus, so even though you say there's a place for everyone, you can't really mean you'd accept me, someone who's never sung a troubled part in her life, and what am I doing here, really? I'll just be on my way, sorry for wasting your time. When she said, of course you'll fit in. My wife probably has a deeper voice than you. I knew in that moment that I had found my place. The booth in question belonged to Calliope, and the woman I was speaking with was Crystal Stark, our former director. With her loving encouragement and the support of the other folks in my section, I unlocked the alto 2 voice that was just hanging around inside of me waiting to be discovered. Since then, despite my frequent ill-timed rehearsal interruptions which masquerade as humor, sorry, Chloe, my Calliope family continues to make me feel welcome every Thursday evening. That's why I don't mind the drive.
This is me. Oh.
I think we find ourselves as a part of a lot of different communities growing up. Our schools, our churches if we're lucky, our artistic and athletic endeavors. But I think that we find a community that really feels like a community though. I think that is exceptionally rare. I joined Calliope in 2016. I was not new to choir as a concept. I had spent time in some kind of choir from the age of 5 to the age of 21. Most of the time I was in multiple choirs at once. When I joined Calliope, I was looking for something different. I was mostly looking for a secular choir after a lifetime of church and Catholic school choirs. I was dying to see what other choirs were singing and what it felt like to gather and make music in a non-liturgical setting. I had also recently graduated college and moved back home, and I was further away from my friends and feeling a little lonely. I auditioned and was invited to join that same night. I was also immediately adopted by a feral group of soprano twos. And little did I know, these people would fundamentally change my life. It wouldn't be long before I was helping with fundraisers and promoting concerts and working pride booths and traveling states away with almost strangers to Denver for the Gala conference, which Gala could be its entire own speech, but I will spare you. I was shown what a choir could really be. It was a place to make art and a place to make friends. And sometimes it was a place to sing really goofy karaoke at a lesbian bar with wigs you got out of someone's trunk. It was also not long after joining Calliope that I found myself in an abusive relationship. I wouldn't get out of that relationship for about 1.5 years. When I did finally get the courage to leave, Calliope was there for me. And I don't necessarily mean in that kind of amorphous support kind of way, like I had something to keep my mind busy or I had people to talk to. Because while that is very true, I also had people directly blocking my abuser from social media event pages so I could attend Calliope events without having to worry about it. I had a member show up to my apartment with me when I needed to return some items my abuser had left so I wouldn't be by myself. I had physical support, like literal physical support, when I broke down after a televised performance on PBS's Almanac because the texting harassment had gotten to be a lot. I never once was made to feel ashamed for what I was going through. I was supported and cared for in a way that felt different than I had experienced in the past, and it was probably one of the first times in my adult life that I had experienced what community really felt like. This made me want to give back and say thanks to all of the amazing people that had helped me so far. I wanted to be that person for other people if I could. So after all of that, I ended up joining the board of directors in 2019. No group is without its challenges, and 2020 was particularly challenging for the chorus and chorus leadership. A global pandemic really gets in the way when your favorite activity is breathing around a big group of people. But we did manage to pull through. We started 2021 with about 9 active members and have continued to grow to what you see here today. There's something about this group that feels a little bit like magic. If you know anything about me, you know I've posted online about this group being my favorite group of people. And it can be like 4 of them or it could be all of them. It's my favorite group of people every time. How I've spoken the gospel of the best little queer choir that could with everything in me to anyone that would listen to me over the last almost 10 years. We're so much more than just a chorus. We've held space for each other through illness and relationships ending and job losses and moving houses and marriages and new babies and even deaths. We celebrate with each other, we grieve with each other, and we make art with each other. The people here are so much more than just choir members. We've managed to develop this community that is as much something that just kind of happened as it is something that we've worked really, really hard to cultivate. Community takes building and nurturing and flexibility. A community like this is something we could really only accomplish together, all generations of Calliopods past and present. I have so much love and respect for this group. I am so grateful every day that I have found this kind of community, and I only hope you can find yours as well.
like to share with you some of our individual thoughts about why communities are important, especially now.
Because representation matters. It can help reduce the feelings from the negative stereotypes assigned to us, and communities can even influence perspective shifts.
Community is important to me because of all the connections that make me feel like an important part of something good.
Communities are important because they provide a network of individuals that can lift us up when we are struggling and celebrate our wins with us. Communities remind us that we aren't alone in this world.
Communities can bring out the best in us, support us at our lowest, and hold us accountable at our worst. A community is a collection of disparate parts brought together and made whole.
At the intersection of love and understanding, compassion can be found. Angela Davis once said that radical simply means to grasp something at its roots. And to me, a community holds its members accountable as a form of radical love.
It doesn't just take a village to raise a child. It takes a village to thrive as a grown-up, too. To make sure everyone's needs are met and to prevent hate from growing.
Get community. It protects against anxiety, isolation, and ignorance. It really does. Try it today.
Finding a community of people who understand, share, and affirm your experiences can be life-changing. It provides a sense of belonging, which is essential for self-worth and improving mental health.
Our community is the world that we create when the one that we are given is less than what we deserve.
Humans are evolutionarily wired to thrive in community. We don't do very well on our own. We need that closeness and connection to support our basic needs. It is best we don't forget that. Isolation breeds fear, breeds division, breeds destruction. We are better together.
We would like to make several thank yous as we approach the close of our program. Thank you so much to Spirit of Hope for having and hosting us once again. Thank you so much to Jerry for all of your coordination with us. Thank you so much for Trudy, to all of your assistants here. Thank you so much to Tom and Steve for audio tech support, as well as Susan for all the support with other tech needs. Thank you as well to the hospitality team for hosting and cultivating this space. The hospitality team, by the way, invites everyone to brief reception vibes outside after the concert. Thank you so much to our Associate Director and Accompanist, Michelle, for all of her work and support this season. Thank you so much to our instrumentalist collaborators, Mike and Emma, for playing cello and percussion, respectively. Thank you to Adam Foster for designing our concert flyer artwork. And thank you so much to the board for all of your efforts throughout the year to make all of this possible. And of course, thank you so much to each and every one of you. Thank you. We will close with two final songs. We Shall Overcome, a song rich with history rooted in social justice activism, and Deep Peace, in observance of a years-long Calliope tradition. We would like to dedicate our performance of Deep Peace to Andy, a recent member of Calliope to whom we recently had to say goodbye. We are forever grateful for the time Andy spent with us, and we are honored to remember her always.
We shall
be in the audience to join us on stage for singing Deep Peace. Thank you so much for coming. Have a restful rest of your evening. Thank you. Have a good night.